Today's lesson is perfume, a timeless elixir of culture and emotion. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to talk about something called perfume or perfume. You can pronounce it either way. That's something usually that ladies use. It's usually from France, and there are different fancy labels and different kinds of little bottles that you can buy, especially if you're going through duty-free when you're flying overseas or something. You can buy some perfume. Yes, you can apply it, I guess, on your neck or something or back behind your ears, and you can smell really nice.
That's right. People might say perfume if they're using it as a verb, like the beautiful scent of the flowers perfume the room, or perfume maybe more as the noun, but as Roger said, it's kind of a regional thing, and I don't think either is very wrong. But yes, a lot of people like to wear it. It makes them smell nice. You might wear a little bit every day, or you might save it for when you're going out for a big fancy evening and you just want to smell your very best. And of course, people also get confused. There's perfume, and then we have eau de toilette, and then we have eau de cologne and things like that. These are all just basically varying strengths of the scent, so some will basically last longer than others, and that might also be reflected in the price. But this is a big industry. A lot of the perfumes that people buy come from famous fashion houses. Celebrities will often have their own lines of perfumes and things like that. It's something that people will buy as a bit of a luxury. You might have 1 or 2 bottles or maybe more at home, and it has a very long and interesting history. So let's get into perfume, a timeless elixir of culture and emotion. Perfume, a timeless elixir of culture and emotion. Perfume isn't just a sweet-smelling substance. It's a time machine, a mood booster, and a personal statement all rolled into one. From ancient rituals to modern luxury, it has played a starring role in human culture for centuries.
大家好，第一部分介绍名词 luxury， 它的意思是奢华、奢侈或是奢侈品。例如 Larry was used to living a life of luxury until one day he lost everything. Larry 很习惯过着奢华的生活，直到有一天他失去了一切。或者 A new computer is a luxury that I don't have the money for. 新电脑是我没有钱买的奢侈品。
Okay, so again, we're talking about perfume in today's lesson. We're describing it as a timeless elixir of culture and emotion. Okay, so an elixir, of course, is some kind of magic pill or magic drug. So, of course, if you put perfume on, you can mesmerize other people. They will be your slave. You will charm them. So, yes, we kind of consider it something magical. If you have that perfume, it can make people more attracted to you. Not just people of the opposite sex, but other people as well within your gender. And I think for me, when I was growing up, we were taught that ladies wear perfume and men wear cologne.
Ooh,
if they wear something.
I guess that could be, but that is also a bit misleading because cologne is just a weaker form of perfume. So maybe if you don't want to smell so strong, that might make sense. But you're right, often the more male-centered scents, the things that have more musk or sandalwood or leather scents, that might be more of a cologne, whereas the things with more sort of botanical and fragrance, flower notes and smells, that might be a bit more perfume. But hey, if you like it and it makes you happy to wear it, I say go for it. Just make sure you have enough money for some of the more expensive ones. So yes, perfume isn't just a sweet-smelling substance. It's a time machine, a mood booster, and a personal statement all rolled into one. That's interesting. A time machine. Smells can be very evocative of times and places, right? I think a lot of people, if they smell colored pencils or crayons, that might take them back to kindergarten class or something like that. The smell of your mom's baking might take you back to your childhood. And if you smell a certain perfume or cologne, it might remind you of your mom or dad, you know, when you were young and your dad used to come home from work if he wore cologne, or if your mom used to wear the same perfume when she got dressed up to go on a date on Saturday nights with your dad. That might remind you of certain times. It can be a mood booster, something that boosts your mood. It basically improves your emotions, right? So it turns you from being slightly sad to happy, from being lazy and lethargic to being energetic. It boosts boosts your mood in the same way that a hug could, or a cup of coffee, or a hot bowl of soup or something. When you're feeling kind of depressed, it'll make you feel better. And a personal statement all rolled into one. This is my scent. I like to smell like flowers. I like to smell like lemons. I like to smell like leather and musk. Different styles of scent, just like in the same way that you wear your own style of clothing. It can be all of these things rolled into one. So it can basically serve many different functions with just one thing. Perfume can mean a lot of different things to different people.
From ancient rituals to modern luxury, it has played a starring role in human culture for centuries. So it's not just about making yourself smell nice. It's actually been around for a long time. We've got a range of uses for perfume, from ancient rituals to modern luxury, and having all those things from the past to the present, well, that has let it play a starring role in cultures all over the world. So here, of course, we have ancient rituals. They use perfume in ancient Egypt or ancient China or whatever. Those are rituals, things you do in formal situations. And of course, it's a modern luxury as well. A luxury is usually something that we don't really need, but we buy it anyway because we've got the money for it. And if we have it, we can let other people know we have it so that they'll be very impressed with us. You can have a luxury car. You could probably get by with driving a Toyota. They're nice cars. They don't break down that much. But hey, if you want a luxury car, you'll buy a BMW or something like that. That means it's a little extra, more expensive, but more prestigious.
Exactly, yes. When you buy luxury, you're buying something that's maybe not entirely necessary, but you're buying it because it's well made and it gives you a certain higher social status. So yes, here we're thinking of modern fashion houses with their very expensive perfumes. So it's played a starring role in human culture for centuries. It's been important to people for many, many years for many, many reasons. Let's get into all that in the second part of the article. History and cultural significance. Perfume's history is as rich and varied as its scents. In ancient Egypt, perfumes were used for medicinal purposes, to honor the gods, and to prepare the dead for the afterlife. The ancient Greeks and Romans also believed that certain perfumes had healing properties, while they used others simply to enhance personal fragrance. In India and Japan, perfumes were closely linked to spirituality and rituals, while in the Middle East, scented oils represented hospitality and wealth. France became the center of European perfume production during the Renaissance, but it wasn't until the 18th century that the perfume industry truly flourished. Large-scale manufacturers and well-known brands emerged, and perfume became a symbol of femininity, helping to shape modern beauty standards.
第二部分看到名词 scent， 表示香味或是芬芳。例如 The scent of fresh flowers came in through the open window. 鲜花的香味从敞开的窗户里飘进来。或是 The flowers on the trees gave off a beautiful scent. 树上的花朵散发出美好的香味。下一个看到动词 enhance， 它的意思是提升、增进或是增强。例如Ivan got surgery on his eyes to enhance his vision. 为增进 Ivan 的视力，他的眼睛动了手术。也可以说 Regular exercise and a balanced diet can enhance overall health and well-being. 规律的运动和均衡的饮食可以增进整体健康和福祉。后面介绍名词 fragrance， 表示香气或是芳香。可以说 I love the fragrance you were wearing. 我很喜欢你擦的香水。又或者说 The fragrance of the bush could be smelled from across the street. 灌木的香气从对街就可以闻得到。继续看到动词 flourish， 它的意思是蓬勃发展、繁荣或是茁壮成长。例如 The artist's career began to flourish after the successful exhibition. 该艺术家的事业在成功的展览后开始蓬勃发展。再一个例子Flowers are flourishing in Gordon's garden because he takes good care of them. Gordon 花园里的花蓬勃成长，因为他有好好照顾它们。再来介绍动词 emerge， 指的是出现、浮现或是显露。举例来说 The train finally emerged from the tunnel. 火车终于从隧道出来了。或是 Alice's cat emerged from under the bed. Alice 的猫从床底下冒出来。
Okay, so let's talk about the history of perfume, and we'll also talk about its cultural significance, how important it is to different cultures around the world and throughout time. Now, perfume's history is as rich and varied as its scents. The scents, of course, are the aromas, the smells. Scent here is usually the more fancy word for something that smells or produces something that stimulates your nose or your sense of smell. We use the word smell to talk about usually general things, but to me, smell kind of means something that is bad. Ooh, there's a smell in here. Something smells awful. Whereas if you're talking about perfume, well, you will talk about an aroma or a scent.
An aroma, a scent, a bouquet, you might also say. Smell could be good or bad. Like, I enjoy the smell of fresh-baked cookies. But yes, if you went, ooh, what's that smell? That's not so good. And another one that's not so good would be odor. The odor of something, O-D-O-R. In the American spelling, that's usually not so good. Like the odor of the cat's litter box. I think you need to clean it out. It's got quite a strong odor of cat poop or something. But a scent is, yes, usually quite nice. In ancient Egypt, perfumes were used for medicinal purposes, to honor the gods and to prepare the dead for the afterlife. So 3 important roles that perfumes had there for the Egyptians. They used them for medicinal purposes. That's kind of like medical. You can see we have the beginnings of the word medical or medicine in that word. So yes, they would use it as a drug when people were feeling ill. So I guess the idea was that if you have a cold or the flu, you smell some lovely smelly oil, maybe oil with flowers in it or something, and that can help to cure your disease in the same way that we use medicine. Medicinal is the adjective form of medical or medicine. So they used it to treat people and their sicknesses. They used it to honor the gods because, of course, perfumes are often made with expensive materials like flowers, and it takes a lot of time. So valuable things are often sacrificed to show your respect and your honor to the gods. And, of course, yes, to prepare the dead for the afterlife. The Egyptians were famous for making mummies. And when you have dead bodies around, some nice smelling stuff can definitely help to fight against the smell of the body as it sort of rots, as it decomposes. So that was something that they would often do. I think even with the baby Jesus in the Bible, right? He's given 3 gifts by the wise men. Gold, because it's expensive. Frankincense, which is something you burn for its lovely smell. And myrrh, which is a perfumed oil that was used to dress dead bodies. And in much probably the same way that the Egyptians did as well. So even going back to the Christian Bible, perfumes do have an important role there in the birth of Jesus.
Interesting. So after I die, they're going to smear my body with perfume before they send me in the crematory.
Would you like some Chanel or maybe CK1?
I think that's a good idea to decide what kind of perfume you want to have.
I'll find you a nice
Chanel
Bleu for Pour Homme.
Yeah, the only one I know is Chanel No. 5.
No, well, we won't give you that one. That's the lady one. That's for your wife.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some aftershave or something like that. But in any case, yes, they were preparing the dead for the afterlife, whether they were going to go to heaven or hell or to reincarnate or whatever. And the ancient Greeks and Romans also believed that certain perfumes had healing properties, while they used others simply to enhance personal fragrance. So the Romans did this as well. The Greeks did too. They thought that certain kinds of perfumes had healing properties. If you smelled them properly, it might cure some problems that you have. It sounds kind of similar to aromatherapy that we have nowadays. You have those machines that will take little drops of oil and turn it into mist or whatever.
Atomizers or something.
Something like that, and then you can breathe it and it makes you feel better or have better approach to life or something. So, yeah, they did that to enhance their personal fragrance as well. Of course, they thought the perfumes could heal you from diseases, but again, they also thought that they would enhance your personal fragrance. There's another word to talk about, the aroma of something, the smell. Here we've got the word fragrance. You often hear that when a perfume company comes out with a new perfume, they say, we're going to introduce you to a completely new fragrance, which would be, of course, a new scent, a new smell, or something like that. So indeed, you want to enhance that personal fragrance. You want to to emphasize it to make sure other people smell it, but don't put too much of it on. My goodness, in my dormitory back in university, some of those girls would get in the elevator on the girls' floors and they would put on too much perfume. Oh, I'm going to suffocate. I'm going to gag. Don't put on so much perfume. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that might be too much to enhance your personal fragrance when it sort of overpowers the room. I mean, it's probably a little bit too much. And then it says in India and Japan, different parts of the world now, perfumes were closely linked to spirituality and rituals. So had a bit more of a religious use in India and Japan. They were closely linked, very closely tied, both in terms of the practice of maybe these religions and these rituals. So you needed the perfume to do the ceremony right, but also in people's minds, in the culture, when they thought of temples or temple workers, they thought of people who smelled nice as opposed to farmers and other workers who might work hard and sweat a lot. We have to remember, of course, that many of the soaps and the chemical cleansers and cleaners that we have today to keep us smelling nice, they didn't have those 150 years ago. In other words, in the past, people smelled bad. While in the Middle East, so kind of in between Europe and Asia there, scented oils represented hospitality and wealth. That probably ties into the three wise men bringing two forms of nicely smelling stuff to the baby Jesus. So it was representing hospitality. I think they also had rose water that you might wash your hands with so your hands smell nice. That would be a way of greeting someone or welcoming them into your home. And of course, wealth, because yes, a lot of these things are made with flower petals and you can only collect so many petals from each flower. So it's quite expensive pound for pound or kilo for kilo. And so you need money to be able to buy it in the same way that if it's a nice dressed lady wearing Chanel No. 5, you might assume that she's a wealthier type of person. And speaking of Chanel No. 5, let's go to the home of modern perfumes, France, in the next paragraph.
Yeah, France became the center of European perfume production during the Renaissance, but it wasn't until the 18th century that the perfume industry truly flourished. Okay, so it began back in the Renaissance, which was a period of time in the arts and music where there was a big change. The Renaissance, things started to change and become different from how they were before. And then we've got the 18th century, which would be the 1700s. The perfume industry in France truly flourished. It became very popular, very profitable. If you ran a perfume company, you were making lots of money. Lots of people wanted to buy perfume. So yes, the industry really flourished. It was a really hot item. You were smart to have invested in the stock market before that happened.
Large-scale manufacturers and well-known brands emerged, and perfume became a symbol of femininity, helping to shape modern beauty standards. So this is the beginning of the perfume industry, kind of as we know it today. Large-scale manufacturers, so it's not just sort of one person in their workshop making a few bottles a day. This is factories making hundreds and thousands of liters of this stuff every day or week or month. Manufacturer is someone who makes something, often on a sort of industrial level. Right? If it's just a little hobby that you have where you make little carved birdhouses and you produce one a week, that's not so much a manufacturer as someone whose business it is to build these things, to make these things in large numbers. And well-known brands emerge. So yeah, people like Chanel. I think Chanel No. 5 is from like 1921 or something like that. It's been around a really long time and it's very famous. It's well known as a brand, as a company, as a name to look for in the shops. And these emerged, these appeared, these came out, these companies started back then, and we still know them today. And so perfume became a symbol of femininity. A lot of people thought a well-dressed lady, an elegant lady should smell nice as well as look nice. So not only should you wear nice, expensive clothes, but you should have a nice, expensive smell. And that helped to shape modern beauty standards in the same way that we think of perfume as being the ultimate accessory to a well-dressed, elegant person. Let's find out more in the final part of the article. Perfume's emotional power. Perfumes can have profound effects on memories and emotions. Certain scents are often associated with loved ones and special occasions, and studies suggest that perfumes can elevate moods and reduce stress. This emotional connection explains why perfumes are an essential part of self-care for many people.
第三部分看到形容词 profound， 表示巨大的、强烈的、深奥的或是深刻的。 例如 There are profound differences between Dan's and Thelma's political beliefs. Dan 和 Thelma 的政治信仰之间存在着深刻的差异。也可以说 Calvin felt a profound sense of sadness after hearing the news. Calvin 听到那个消息后感到强烈的悲伤。最后看到动词 elevate 表示提升、提高或是改进。可以说 Norman was elevated in status after he got a promotion. Norman 升职后地位提升了。最后一个例子 A donation to a charitable cause has elevated the reputation of the company. 捐款给慈善事业提升了该公司的名声。
Okay, here's the final paragraph for today. It's all about perfume's emotional power, how it affects our emotions, how it affects our mood. And perfumes can have profound effects on memories and emotions. If something's profound, it is deep, it is significant, it is important. So yes, indeed, perfumes can make us think about things from the past, or they can make us feel a certain way. They do have this powerful or profound effect on us. And certain scents, certain fragrances, certain aromas are often associated with loved ones and special occasions. And studies suggest that perfumes can elevate moods and reduce stress. So maybe you remember your mother or your girlfriend or whatever having worn a certain kind of perfume. If you smell it again, it will bring back sweet memories of those people now that you don't see them anymore so much. So yes, indeed, it can remind you of those special people or those special occasions. And, of course, we've done some research. We've got some studies that suggest that perfumes can elevate your mood. To elevate something just means to make it go from a lower place to a higher place. It can make you happier.
It can improve your mood. It can make your gray day into a wonderful blue sky just by putting on some perfume. This emotional connection explains why perfumes are an essential part of self-care for many people. Yeah, so you have this mind-brain-nose link that connects certain smells. Maybe it's because it reminds you of your mom or dad who wore the same perfume, or a good time in your life, or maybe it's just something that you wear and you enjoy and it becomes part of your sort of style or your brand. But it can be a lot of different things for a lot of different people. All of that from a few sprays from a little bottle of scented oil. Very amazing. We're going to have more about perfumes tomorrow, so please join us for that. But for now, let's go over to Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始写到，香水不仅是一种芬芳的物质，那文中它用到复合形容词 sweet smelling 来描述芬芳的。那么课文第二部分提到大规模的制造商时，则用到复合形容词 large scale 来描述大规模的。那我们来介绍一些常见复合形容词的组成方式。首先是跟数字有关的复合形容词，那可以用到数字、连字号、名词，像 4 year 4年的， 5 star 5星级的。特别注意这个组合里的名词一律是用单数来表示。我们也可以用到序数、连字号、名词来构成复合形容词，像 7th grade 就是7年级的。接着我们可以用到数字、连字号、名词，那名词后面加了 ed， 像 3-legged 3条腿的， two-sided 是双面的。再来看看跟名词的搭配的组成方式，像是用名词、连字号、形容词 world famous 就是世界知名的， duty free 就是免税的，还有组成方式是名词、连字号、名词，像 name brand 就是名牌的，还有名词、连字号、名词，那后面这个名词后面再加了 ed， 像 freckle faced 就可以表达满脸雀斑的。还有用到名词、连字号、分词，那这个分词可能是 VING 或 PP， 像 award winning 就是得奖的， man-made 就是人造的、人为的。接着我们来看看跟形容词的搭配。第一个是形容词、连字号、形容词，像 little known 是表达鲜为人知的。形容词、连字号、名词，这时候像是 long term 就是长期的，还有我们文中的 large scale 也可以表达大规模的。下一种是形容词、连字号、名词，那么名词后面有加 ed， 像 short haired 就是短发的， old fashioned 过时的。 再看到另一种组成方式是形容词连字号分词，那这个分词可能是 VING 或 PP， 像文中的 sweet smelling 去形容芬芳的，还有 ready made 就是形容现成的。好，课文第3部分他提到说 Certain scents are often associated with loved ones and special occasions. 特定的香味常与亲人和特殊场合联系在一起。Associate 或是念作 associate， 它是当动词，可以表达联想或是使有关联。那主动用法是 associate A with B， 被动用法则是 A be associated with 加上 B。那它可以表达出2种常见的语义。第一种是表达使 A 和 B 有关联，就像课文的用法，那文中是用到被动语态。举例来说 These symptoms are associated with anxiety. 这些症状与焦虑症有关联。那第二个它可以表达将 A 和 B 联想在一起，像 Many people associate summer with the beach. 许多人会把夏天跟海滩联想在一起。好，那以上是今天的重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Luxury. This 5-star hotel offers the highest level of luxury and comfort. Scent. After the rain, the scent of pine trees mixed with the smell of wet soil to create a calming atmosphere. Enhance. Traveling to different countries can enhance your understanding of various cultures. Fragrance. Lavender is known for its pleasant fragrance, which helps reduce stress and improve sleep quality. Flourish. With the rise of technology, small businesses have found new ways to flourish in the digital marketplace. Manufacturer. Furniture manufacturers should ensure that all their products are made from eco-friendly materials. Emerge. As the sun rose, a beautiful mountain landscape emerged from the fog. Profound. The economic crisis had a profound effect on millions of people, affecting their work and income.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Mike.
See you next time.